We're at 140 Pursley Lane in Springboro, Ohio, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything that may be a concern to the buyer. So we'll be going through a floor clean out in the front left of the basement if you are facing the home. And we're going to go both directions. From this clean out I will be able to go upstream or back into the house underneath the basement floor. And then I will turn the camera, I'll come back out of the clean out, turn, and we'll go downstream, which will go out of the house, and hopefully we'll be able to make it all the way to the main. And we'll inspect all the downstream stuff. So you can see here is the clean out right here. See, there is we're in the basement here. So the steps coming down. So first we're going to go upstream or back into the house. Shouldn't have a whole lot. It looks like the line will go up, make a right, and then go over to a stack near the like by the HVAC and the water heater. So that right there is probably a YN for the floor drain. And it narrows just a little bit. We'll get a little bit smaller pipe. It should run over. And another Y there. Now this could actually go over underneath the crawl space. We may have more than I can see. We have a tiny bit of water there. It's not a concern. You have a lot of times when they're under the floor, the lines are real flat. Just have a minimum amount of pitch in them until they get outside. So here we are. This is the stack. As you can see, I turned up it toward 86 degrees. In the bottom left-hand corner, you can see the angle that the camera is sitting at. So I'm looking straight up vertical into the stack. So that's as far as we're going to get in here. We've inspected all the line, the main line underneath the floor. Everything looked good. Again, that little bit of water is not an issue. That camera lens is only about maybe a half an inch off the bottom of the pipe, so it's very, very little water. That would obviously get pushed out, and there's nothing sitting there. It's pretty normal. So the interior pipe all looked really good. Connections look nice and tight. And here we are coming out of the clean out. You can see we're back out, and now we're going to go in and go downstream. And it looks like it immediately drops as soon as we go into the clean out. It drops down to get a little deeper, probably to get underneath the foundation. A little bit of smudge on the center of the lens, but nothing else. If that doesn't, if we don't find a little bit of water in here, that'll easily, rinse off when we get to the main. You can obviously still see just a little tiny bit of haze there. So we've switched over into SDR. So it's basically two different braiding systems is all it is for the pipes. The white stuff on the inside is schedule 40, most likely. That is basically it's a wall thickness.
And then this stuff, the green stuff, they call SDR, which is just a different, it's SDR 35, which is just a different rating. And it's a ratio of pipe wall. Both very, they're common code, but you can tell when you get into the green stuff that that's usually exterior pipe. This all looks really good so far. Looks like we're dropping again. This house is in a cul-de-sac, so we could either be really, sometimes the mains are really close. Sometimes you have to go all the way across the cul-de-sac. You never know what you're going to come up with. We just dove a pretty good amount. Now we are back horizontal. So far everything's looked really good. Push a little bit of goo in front of the camera there. Sometimes the camera scrapes stuff off the bottom of the pipe, as you can see, and it'll slowly build up. Nope. Get that stuff out of the way here. That's another thing why we always record on the way back, because that doesn't happen when you pull back. You obviously you're not pushing stuff up against the lens. Shake it off here. May end up having to go all the way out to the main to be able to rinse that stuff off, or if I need to, I can run water in here to rinse it off. But there we go. Found a little bit of water here. That's what we needed. What we'll do is we'll make sure that we push all the way out to the main. And we'll be able to see really well on the way back. There was just a little small belly again. That's not an issue. No need to, it's not even worth marking or even referencing, really. I just can't get that stuff out of my way. Should be coming up to the main soon. We're out 100 feet, so the main must be at least out in the street, to say at the very least. And here we are out to the main. And of course, we don't have anything running right now, so I'm going to go upstairs. Another issue with being in a cul-de-sac is there may only be one house upstream, or this could be the first house on the main, and so you don't have a whole lot of water flowing through the main. Especially not during work day. So I'm going to, you can see a little bit flowing there, but I'm going to go up, turn some water on in the one of the bathrooms. So I'm going to pause the video for that. That way we can get some water running through here and you can see what see it functioning as we pull the camera back. Okay, so we have the water running in the kitchen. Just going to let it make it all the way out. You should see it show up shortly. And then we will start pulling back. We'll inspect the line on the way back with the water running.
unless there's a situation where it's filling up too much of the pipe to see, then we would turn it off so we can get a better visual inspection if needed. And we were able to inspect most of the pipe. I think we missed 15 feet or so when we had the issue with the little bit of goo that pushed up on the lens, but all in all, we were able to inspect 90% of it on the way out. So we will wait for the water to get out here. It is 100 feet of pipe, so it's taking a minute, but it should be showing up here shortly. There we go. Okay, so you can see it's flowing out into the main. The reason it's dark like that is probably from all the stuff that I knocked loose, and then there's probably a little bit of dirt on my camera also. But we'll get that all cleaned off, and we should be able to see really well on the way back. Again, everything looked really, really good on the way out, so we'll pay a little bit closer attention to between like 80 feet and 60 feet. Trying to rinse that off, but it hazes back open. We are at about 80 feet. Just going to keep trying to knock that haze off the lens. You can see as clear as possible.
Most of these straight line, the SGR35, that's all usually 10-foot sticks unless you're making turns, but those are like 10 to 12 foot pieces. I believe you can get 20 footers, but so you don't have many seams. But everything looks nice and tight, seated well, so everything looks good. Be coming back into the interior pipe here shortly. That's when we switch over right there into the white. Now we are in the interior pipe. We should be coming out of the clean out any second. And here we are. Okay, so we made it all the way out to the main. Didn't see any issues whatsoever. That's what we want to see. So everything looked good. All the connections looked nice and seated, and no offsets. No bellies. There was those little tiny spots of sitting water. That's not uncommon. It's not an issue at all. So everything looked great. So there's nothing really to report, but because everything looked about as good as it could. So that'll end the inspection at 140 Pursley Lane in Springboro, Ohio.